Assalamu alaikum, our listeners, the listeners of Echo TV International, listeners who are in the country, outside of the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. My name is Larry Sise. We are back again. This time around, it's just Lamin Mane and I. Lamino is on special assignment. I hope next week he will be back with us. Let Lamin greet you guys, and then I will tell you what our program issues are today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Larry, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our dear listeners out there in the Gambia and in the diaspora. We say to you, thank you for welcoming us into your homes again this week. Glad to be back to have this chat with you in a friendly, convivial manner. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Lamin. Today, last week we told you that we are going to change our format a little bit, and the new format that we are going to take will be the Gambia we want to build, but the UDP's social contract in building the Gambia we want to build. That social contract is going to concentrate mostly on some of the things that UDP is going to do in the sectors of the economy, in the area of governance, accountability, and transparency. For 5 years now, we've been talking to you about the damage that is being caused to the economy because of some of the transactional nature of how government does business. This government does business. You remember I once said two or 3 years ago that this is a transactional government. And what the audit reports have shown is that it's actually a transactional government. But what is so interesting is that there was let us just say that we are going to deal with three issues, and then I'll go into the issues one by one. Issue number one will be the recently concluded IMF fourth review of the ECF. You remember we talked about the ECF 2 or 3 programs ago.
The extended credit facility.
Extended credit facility. Yeah. And then its fourth review of the resilience and sustainability facility, the RSF. That is issue number one. Issue number two, Ibrahim Asila was on Coffee Time Tuesday, 2 days ago, and he really didn't do justice to the 2021, 2022, 2023 audit reports of the National Audit Office, and he basically just brushed it off. We are going to talk about that as comprehensively as we possibly can in terms of time allowing. And then the third one will be the filling of the vacant positions in the UDP structures. Those were vacancies that were just announced this week. I will start with the first one. Lamin will do the second one, and as always, we will back each other up differently with the issues. Issue number one, the extended credit facility is intended to assist the government to do some macroeconomic stability areas. And then the resilience and sustainability facility is basically designed to help governments build economic resilience as a buffer to the external shocks that the economy is likely going to face. The reason why we want to talk about this today is that there was a press conference yesterday by the IMF's team leader. And the press conference is very telling, as I was saying. It basically says that the Central Bank of the Gambia, and I'm going to be factual about this, because the usual deflections and personal attacks may follow, but what the IMF said is exactly what I'm going to say. And as I said, what they said is not different from what we've been saying in the last 5 years. The IMF calls on the government on the Central Bank of the Gambia to prioritize its core mandate. It calls on the central bank to prioritize its core mandate. The core mandate is macroeconomic policy, not providing economic support to the government by way of some of the foreign exchange interventions it has engaged in.
Well, maybe, Larry, if you don't mind, before we get into those, maybe for our viewers who do not understand
what
ECF and RSF, maybe we explain that a bit to them.
Okay.
Because the ECF, the Extended Credit Facility, is granted to countries, low-income countries, which have protracted balance of payments problems. It means the country is in serious difficulty. And the IMF steps in to provide them with concessional funding for the protracted balance of payment issues they're having. And this is for the medium term.
To be addressed, yes.
To allow them to address those difficulties. Any country that's given an ECF, it means that the country is in serious difficulty. And to top it up, they see that not only the ECF was important for the country to come out of the difficulties they are facing right now, and they are not out of the woods yet. The IMF said, you guys are not doing well enough. We're going to help you and give you also an RSF, Resilience Sustainability Facility. These are two facilities that complement each other. The ECF is for the medium term, to low-income countries which are facing protracted balance of payment issues. And then, if you're not doing well enough, they give you the Resilient Sustainability Facility, which is for the longer term. Again, to provide you with the same low concessionary funding to address those issues, and to also help you build sustainability into your addressing of those issues. One, and then they'll give you policy advice on what to do. And that's where the countries lose their sovereignty. Because at that point, it's the stage before the structural adjustment programs. They tell you what to do, how to do it. This is why we are losing some of our institutions to the private sector, which have been sold off, which have been concessioned. So these two facilities are a damning indictment on any government. It means that you are performing poorly, and the IMF comes in to bail you out. And they make it sound like, oh, we're doing so well, the IMF is giving us an ECF and RSF. No, it's the opposite. It's because you're doing so poorly that the IMF finds it necessary to come and bail you out. So I think I just want to set that record before we go ahead.
I think that's a good, good clarification of the two facilities.
Yes.
Because basically what this government has been telling Gambians is that the economy is sound, we are doing very well. Yeah. But the ESAF and the RSF point to a totally different perspective.
Exactly.
So the IMF is basically telling this central bank to prioritize its core mandate, which is macroeconomic policy. But it's also telling the central bank that it should maintain an exchange rate driven by market forces.
Yes.
And to limit foreign exchange interventions to address excessive market volatility and build reserves. These are serious
indictments,
economic indictments of the government.
Exactly.
They say you should maintain an exchange rate that is driven by supply and demand, market forces, and to limit your foreign exchange interventions, to address the volatilities that are in the market, and then to build your reserves. Yeah. Now, if viewers will recall, 2 or 3 weeks ago, or even a month ago, we said the central bank has given out 100 million to 10 private companies.
Actually, that is underreporting again.
Yes.
It is 200 million that has been given out.
Yeah. 200 million, but they reported 100 million.
Yes, it's 200 million that has been given out.
Yeah. So basically, this is what the central bank, the IMF is flagging to the government to say, hey, you are not doing what you are supposed to do. You shouldn't be dishing out foreign exchange. You should be building
reserves.
Your reserves. And in addition to that 200 million, this is appalling.
Yeah.
In addition to that 200 million that they gave to 10 private companies, now it looks like it was 10 million per company, now it's 20 million per company.
On average,
Yeah, on average.
Yeah.
Now, and then private interventions that the IMF is talking about include, but not limited to, the $1 billion that was given to the president's nephew, Amadou Sane. They gave him 600 million before the mega bank was sold, and they gave him another 400 million after the mega bank was sold. They also provided 50 million to a private individual for agricultural purposes. And we keep talking about that. It's jar oil again.
Yeah, and they gave Amadou Sane another 265 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
265 million to Amadou Sane again.
Yeah.
So basically, and then they underwrote 75 million for the National Roads Authority.
Yes.
That
credit swap.
Currency swap with the Africa Export-Import Bank.
And if I may just quickly say there, all of those are contingent liabilities on the Gambia government.
Gambia government, yes.
And they are not taking them down as part of our debt.
Yeah.
Yet they are contingent liabilities on us.
Yeah.
So, sorry for the interruption.
No, but it's good. And when you look at the audit reports, the contingency liabilities is an eyesore.
Exactly.
It's a very serious sum of money. Now, the other aspect of what the central bank's core mandate ought to be is to not be a custodian to 187 bank accounts of the Barrow government. Yes. 187, and that's what we know publicly from the auditors. It could very well be more than that. So these are some of the issues that we are going to be seized with today as a way of saying, not with impunity or with lack of humility, but we told you so. We said this government is a transactional government.
Absolutely.
Everything they do is transactional. From dishing out foreign exchange reserves to 10 companies to giving individuals loan guarantees that the government has signed off to. And also the issue of the way they are supposed to manage the banking sector in terms of the banking supervision that they are supposed to be doing. Now, managing the country's currency is a core mandate of the central bank. Providing strong, steady, predictable monetary policy is another aspect of it. Price stability, monetary policy, and interest rates. Now, the interest rates that are being managed by the central bank can only be said to be among some of the highest in the sub-region in terms of what the banks will charge for their interest rates. Controlling the money supply and supervising the banks are some of the core mandates that the IMF says the central bank should go back to. Yeah. When you look at the press conference yesterday, I was a bit disappointed that with all the things that the IMF is saying, and mind you, the IMF, they use some pretty nice diplomatic language to couch what they're going to
say.
After they praise the government, then they say, no, you are off track as far as your core mandate is concerned, so come back to the core mandate. Now, why am I disappointed at the press conference? There was a journalist there who asked a question. I think it was Mustafa Swandi.
Swandi Dabo, yes.
Yes. He asked a question, and you can tell he's probing because he wants verification for what he already knows. Mm-hmm. And the minister was not very nice to the journalist. I think, in my view, he belittled the journalist. And
unduly.
Unduly
yes.
belittled, because the man was asking a question so he can have answers.
Yeah.
And the minister, rather than providing those answers, resorted to the kind of belittling personal tirade that we always talk about.
Exactly. It's what you say all the time, the deflection and the personal attacks.
Yeah.
What Mustafa Swandi was saying were all grounded in fact. But because they could not defend that, and because they wanted to look good in front of the IMF staff, who know, I bet they know exactly what was happening. But they cannot say those things in public.
Yeah.
But I bet that behind closed doors, they had a earful yesterday or Tuesday, whatever the day was there, they met. Yeah. Because what Mustafa Swandi was saying are all facts. And the minister was trying to deflect and attack him personally instead of addressing the issues. And he was talking a lot of things that did not make any sense, but because he had the microphone and it was his press conference, he tried to dominate it. Mustafa had to step in vigorously to get himself heard.
Yeah.
So it was totally unbecoming, because there were a lot of falsehoods peddled during that statement by the minister. But we'll come back to that another time.
Yeah, but we are used to the falsehoods.
Yeah.
And that is what is unfortunate about it.
Yeah.
Normally, deflections, defending the indefensible, rationalizing the irrational, you end up just messing up.
Yeah.
And the minister's performance in that press conference yesterday leaves a lot to be desired. I don't want my finance minister to act like that publicly towards a journalist.
If my finance minister acts like that, he will be history.
Yeah.
He will be history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, they can get away with it because that's what
their principal himself doesn't understand what they are talking about.
What they are talking about.
Yeah.
And so we are saying, go back to the macroeconomic fundamentals. Stop market interventions. If you intervene in markets, it ought to be in the area of interest rates policy, not dishing out foreign exchange to private individuals. I am really appalled that all along they've told us that they have given out 100 million to 10 private companies. On the whole, it is 200 million US dollars.
Yeah.
Not Gambian dollars, it's 200 million US dollars.
Yeah.
How do you give 10 companies $200 million of the country's foreign exchange reserves and expect the IMF to come and say, oh, everything is okay, you are doing well? Well, publicly, that's what the IMF says. But if you look at what the IMF also said in terms of the core mandates of a central bank, it's an indictment of the activities of the central bank.
And if you listen between the lines, IMF was saying you are on track. You know?
Yeah.
On track means you are not there.
Yeah.
You are trying to make an effort, but you are not there.
You are not there.
And that was a very nice way of saying you are messed up.
Yeah.
They cannot say that like we can say it. That's what the IMF was saying.
Yeah.
You are messed up. You need to have much more to do a lot more. That's why all of these facilities coming in to enhance governance, to provide policy advice. It's because they're telling them, you have messed up and you continue to mess up. And you are a danger to the international financial system and to the country's financial outlook. So we'll have to come in, step in and help you, because when you go bust, we will have to lose a lot of money because we have invested a lot of money here, and to recover that, we'll have to come and bail you out with more money. So you might as well do it now to stop you going belly up.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what
and it's the Gambia that's going to go belly up if nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us summarize these things and move on to the next item. Basically, the IMF is saying to the central bank, you need to manage the country's currency and monetary policy. And managing the currency and monetary policy is aimed at stabilizing prices and stabilizing the financial system by interest rates, setting up interest rates and controlling the money supply and supervising banks.
Yeah.
I think this is the gist of
Exactly.
what the IMF is saying.
Exactly.
And it fits with the macroeconomic fundamental. Anybody who studied any economics
Absolutely.
will know that these are the core functions of
Of
a
a central bank. Exactly. And that's what the minister also should be looking out for.
Should be looking out for.
And
Yeah.
this is what IMF effectively said to them.
Yeah.
In very nice diplomatic terms,
Yeah.
is telling them, stop playing games.
Yeah.
What you're doing is not your core mandate. Go back to your core mandate, your niche areas. That's where you need to go and perform.
Yeah.
When they tell you you have to maintain monetary stability, it's telling you your currency is depreciating terribly.
And they did say that.
Yeah.
I was going to close with that to say
Okay.
they also flagged that the depreciation of the dollar is a major concern for them.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Because
sorry
when
to
that
interrupt.
happens, whether you take any new loans or not, the mechanical effect of the depreciation is going to make your debt worse.
Yeah.
And you'll find it more difficult to pay their debt as well.
Yeah.
They have interest in the country functioning
Yes.
because they've got money invested
If it
here.
doesn't function,
They can pay back.
they lose.
Yeah, they lose too. So they want you to be able to pay back their money. So they tell you, hey, sit up and do the right thing. Stop dishing out money to private entities that is the role of secondary banks, not the primary bank, the central bank. That is not your role. Your role is in ensuring monetary stability, interest rates management,
Yeah.
and make sure that you keep the country on track by giving yourself the possibility of constituting enough reserves, not taking those reserves and giving out to the public.
Yeah.
And the public means private operators, because they don't give to anybody else apart from those private economic operators who are connected to the corridors of power. That's what the IMF is telling them in very nice terms, but anybody who is used to these things knows what they are saying. I have been in these meetings.
Yeah.
I have
Same.
sat in them with countries.
Same here.
And exactly same with you. Things that cannot be said in public are said behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I bet behind closed doors, they must have, hit them hard on all of those currency depreciation that we're going through, on the interest rates which are not being reined in, inflation which is going out of control, and they're saying we are one digit. All of that's not true.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I wish I could be a fly sitting there on the sill somewhere listening
on
to
the wall.
Yeah, listening to what they must have hit them hard on the foreign currency swap as well.
Yeah.
Because what they did in that foreign currency swap, we've been saying it for months here now, past more than a year.
Yeah.
What they've been doing in that foreign currency swap is totally illegal and is detrimental to our economy. Yeah. And this is a contingent liability again.
It's a drag on the economy that we don't need.
Right. And this was done in a way which was so opaque that they cannot publish the contract.
Yeah.
Only the Afrexim Bank authorities can publish that contract.
Yeah.
Why is that? We're a party to that agreement. Why can't we have it published?
Not just
because
party,
something is
we are
wrong.
going to be paying for that money.
Through our nose.
Yes.
So I'm sure the IMF must have hit hard on them on that. And I would imagine, and I think that would be the case, they would tell them no more of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
If the IMF didn't tell them that, I will be terribly disappointed with them.
Then the IMF will be remiss in not
Exactly.
telling them.
And after what happened in Senegal, I don't think they will accept to be remiss here.
Yeah.
So they must have told them, this currency swap sort of thing, cut it out. Cut it out or we'll cut you loose. Yeah. Because it's just not acceptable that a government which is so indebted already, that is managing the economy so poorly, that is overseeing such a depreciation of the dollar, that is seeing these interest rate hikes and inflation, would still go on and do all of these things.
Yeah.
I am sure that they have been bashed and they were on their knees with the IMF. Yeah. But they won't say that.
Like you say, it would have been nice to have been a fly on
that wall, yeah, to hear what was
because
said there.
Like you say, I've been in those meetings also.
Yeah.
in several countries. In fact, in all the countries, when the IMF comes, they would invite us to go and sit in these debriefings and stuff.
Yeah, we did it with them. We were among the technical and financial partners, as we call it.
Yeah.
You know, the financial institutions at the ADB, we're the technical and financial partners with the UN agencies, etc. And we sat with the countries and we thrashed these things out and told them, frankly, why are you messing up?
So they must have read the Riot Act to
Yes,
them,
yes, I think they did.
for their misbehavior.
I like that, the Riot Act, they must have really read that to them.
They must have.
Yeah.
Because you know what? The depreciation of the dollar is linked to the rate of inflation of the country.
Yeah.
That is also linked to the foreign exchange rate that the banks are providing.
Out there, yeah.
I don't know about you, but for the last 3 months or so, the foreign exchange rate, dollar to dollar, has been steady at 71.
No, it's 73.5 now.
73.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bank gives me 71.2.
Okay.
But average is 73.
Yeah, 73, exactly.
It's not just on.
And I think by next month we'll hit 74.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are some banks here who keep it that low.
Yeah, yeah. And not only that, but there's also a dearth of, a shortage of foreign exchange in
now.
the banks.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, it's beginning to creep up.
Yeah,
And
it is there.
It will increase prices. Inflation will go up. Probably unemployment will also go up because it has a boomerang effect on all of these indicators of the economy.
When Bakari Jammeh was governor of Central Bank, we had a lot of foreign exchange going around. And eventually, every now and then, occasionally, they had to go in and mop up the additional foreign exchange by auction buying. Now we're not capable of doing that because there's not enough foreign exchange to go around. So the country is in a serious mess. They cannot spend this, and that's why we need to come out and say these things, because the IMF, it is not their job to say those things. They are not political institutions. No. So they can only say things in a very nice way and couch in diplomatic language, but we have to decode it for the Gambian people.
But this one, the lady was diplomatic,
but still,
she was also stern on these principles. So let's.
But because you and I are used to it, and we can hear the undertones.
Hear the undertones.
But most Gambians will not hear that.
She was contrite.
Yeah.
And when you look at her body language, also when the minister was responding to the journalists, you can see she would rather not be there.
Right. Yeah. And wouldn't say anything.
And didn't say anything.
The minister was, trying to look at everybody for approval. Can I have approval from you?
Yeah.
You cannot have approval.
It's sad, Lamin. It's very, very sad. So let's recap on this thing because it is important.
Yeah.
The IMF says to the central bank, your role is to manage the country's currency and monetary policy, the aim of which is to generate price stability and financial system stability, and setting interest rates that are favorable to economic growth. And you should also be controlling the money supply and supervising the banks. The IMF says they are very concerned about the depreciation of the dollars. Yeah. I think that's the summary of everything that they have said. Now it's up to the government to act. Like we always say when we talk about these issues, for me, and I'm sure for you also, it's a question of the legacy you leave when you are given a public office to manage. Yeah. I don't think our guys are too receptive to legacies. No. Otherwise, some of the things that they are doing will not be done.
Will not be done.
Now, how can after the Jana Commission establish that they have discovered about 20 to 25 bank accounts attributable to Yahya Jammeh being managed by the central bank? How can that Jana Commission's finding be rationalized when the central bank is sitting on 187 bank accounts? Bank accounts which it refused to give access to the National Audit Office. It hasn't given them any information on any of those 187 bank accounts. And you still want to build a legacy. How do you sign a currency swap of 75 million and you still want a good legacy.
Yeah.
How do you dish out 50 million to a private individual?
Dollars.
Yeah. And you still want to be, you still want to
build
say,
a legacy.
Yeah, I want a legacy. Yeah. Now, like we said last week, as far as the general economy is concerned, that is a legacy issue for the president, the Minister of Finance, his predecessor, and the governor of the central bank.
Yeah.
Collectively, this economy that we are facing, the hardships, the high inflation, the high cost of living, this is your legacy. And Gambians ought to know this legacy is not sustainable.
No, it's not. It's not.
So something has to be done.
Yeah.
Because as far as macroeconomic policy is concerned, I've given up on these people.
Long time ago.
I don't expect them to follow these macroeconomic fundamentals that we've been talking about, that the IMF has just supported.
Yeah.
Finally, Lamin, this government has to stop doing business in a transactional way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You see, transactional business in government invariably leads to systemic corruption.
Absolutely.
And we are saying there is entrenched systemic corruption because of the transactional nature of the government.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
Yeah, and I perfectly agree with you, because you cannot continue doing that. It's constant quid pro quo with this government. And what we need is, if they can't manage these economies properly, at least take the advice of those sound, brilliant young guys you have in the ministries
and the central
bank and the other institutions. You have brilliant young people there. Let them give you the advice. Listen to them. Because this probably is flying above their heads, probably.
It is.
But at least listen to advice. Listen to people who understand things probably better than you. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in your staff being much more knowledgeable than you about these things, because we're having more and more areas of specialization. You can't be a specialist in all of them. But as an intellectual, you should be able to acquaint yourself with as many of those areas as possible. Where you have deficiencies, bring in your staff to help you understand those, and you have a general discussion about it and come to an agreement on a policy.
Yeah.
If you are a good manager, you won't be too arrogant to ask those kind of questions, and to help your staff to make you understand things so you can have a better outcome for this country. And that's what we need from this government. But as you said, they are not up to that job. We should just give up on them, because they won't do it. All they care about is how to make themselves comfortable. Yeah. The rest of the country, they don't care.
Them and their cronies.
Yeah. So I think the only thing to do is to get them out of government in 2026, because they are too corrupt for reform. They cannot be reformed. They just have to be removed.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks a lot.
Okay. The second, I hope we'll have some time to at least give a summary of these things in the local languages.
Yeah, okay.
But the second one is the Ibrahim Asila appearance on coffee time.
Yeah.
I will leave Ibrahim to you. I'm going to have to ask Peter that I go back to coffee time.
I think you should. I think you should. I understand Ibrahim will be back next week, and he's going to spin more falsehoods.
Yeah.
After that, it will be important to be able to go there and set the record straight.
Yeah.
Ibrahim was on coffee time yesterday, and without any qualms.
On Tuesday.
Tuesday, sorry. Without any qualms, he sits there, looks Peter in the face, and tells him, you know, I read all of those audit reports about my ministry. I'm an avid reader, and I responded to these things myself. Yeah, my foot. He didn't respond to any of those things. They just wrote them for him. When he tried to recall what he wrote, he said himself, he said there are two basic terms. He couldn't even remember two basic terms. Somebody wrote them for him, not him. Yeah. And he tells us, you know, there are two key terms here, and which are very important. One of them is discrepancy.
Yeah, the discrepancy at the end, North Bank Road. That one is a nightmare for him.
The discrepancy stems from the systemic corruption in the system.
Yeah.
That's why you cannot account for the things that are there. Yeah. That's where the discrepancies stem from. And that's what audit was flagging. In your ministry, in a single road project, $377 million could not be accounted for.
Yeah.
And you try to explain that by, oh no, we went to do that road, and then we found out that the neighboring villages came. They also wanted to extend that road, and we had to do an extra loop. That's why we go to that. That is the worst kind of admission of guilt and incompetence that you can have. If you do that project and you go out there to implement it, you should have had the foresight of planning properly and knowing that the area requires more roads, more loops, as he calls it, to be able to have an integrated transport system there. And if you don't do that, you are derelict. You are totally incompetent. You cannot just do this haphazardly. Let's do one part. Oh, okay, now that's what you saw in the Battle Harding Highway. They do one part, and then say, oh, maybe you should add this as an afterthought. But it's not an afterthought. These things are deliberate. When you do that, then you bring in riders to those contracts, and that's where they hike the prices. That's where the corruption is. Look, if you have that sort of project, and the neighboring villages come and ask you to have an extension, you do a phase 2 of that project. You do a phase 2. You don't put in a rider 1.5 years afterwards, and money disappears. No. You do, okay, this is a phase 1, we'll come back with phase 2. And you come back, you do a phase 2, and you extend the road structure. You can do that even before the first phase is finished. You plan the second phase, and you implement it, and he says, we don't want to do it because the contractor will have to go and come back again. How do you know that the next contractor will then do better? You need to do another bidding for that road, for the second road. You don't have to give it to the same contractor. You know, the next one could do better than that. But he's already thinking of giving the same an extension of the contract to the same contractor
to do the same
more,
rubbish,
etc. And probably he's doing a bad job for you. Why don't you put it on another bid for phase 2 and see? And he tells us, yeah, part of the problem stems from contingency and price escalation. That is a classic case in project design. You have physical and financial contingencies which are planned. You know there'll be physical contingencies over the period.
There is a specific budget line for it.
Exactly. You prepare for that, you anticipate it, and you budget for that. Financial contingencies, because there's price escalation, there are so many other things. You plan for that, and you make a contingency plan for that too. That's why you have the physical and financial contingencies. But this guy doesn't even understand that.
And you label them as inputs.
Exactly. He doesn't even understand that.
Yeah.
So if you design a project, you don't have those physical and financial contingencies, your project design is flawed, fundamentally flawed. Yeah. So he doesn't even understand that, and he explains that this is why the project cost is up. The project cost goes up when you cannot plan for those things. Because what happens in the case of the Gambia? You plan those projects, and they are financed in foreign exchange, right? The price contingency can be very favorable to the Gambia because the dollar is depreciating, so the dollar equivalent of the dollars coming in is much higher. So if you are supposed to pay for gravel, which they don't put on the roads to start with, they put just backfill, but if you're supposed to pay for a truckload of backfill for $6,000, if your dollar goes from 60 to the dollar to 73 now, you have gained money on that. So your cost will be lower. But this guy doesn't even understand those things. So the audit reports he's talking about, he's saying audit, the audit is not an opinion. Him and his principal, his boss, got to realize that and know it. And audit, he said, yeah, some of these things may be time-bound. Not maybe, they are time-bound. Anything you do in a government, in any rational administration or business, is time-bound. You don't finish it when it's finished. No. You set timelines. If you don't set timelines, the prices will escalate, things will change, conditions will change, and you get all the problems you're having. So audit reports are the same thing. They are time-bound.
And they are based on documentary evidence.
Exactly.
So they are factual.
So when he says that maybe they went to publish the report before they got my answer, if you take forever to send them the answer, of course they will publish their report.
No, but Lamin, honestly, I was going to wait until the last to chip in. Maybe is what he said. You know, I know, that when the auditors do their auditing, they send a draft report to the ministry, to the institution.
Or any other institution, yes.
For the institution to review.
Yes.
And respond.
Good.
Once the institution reviews and responds, it's in the management letter.
Yeah.
So for me, what stood out about Ibrahim Silla's performance on Coffee Time was this notion that the auditors are wrong.
Yes, yes.
It stood out in me. In fact, I was awestruck by it.
Yeah.
Why am I awestruck by it? They did an audit on your institution, sent you a preliminary report, asked you to respond in a management letter.
Yeah.
You responded in a management letter, sent to the auditors. The auditors reviewed it, had a meeting with you, as that's the normal procedure, and you agree on the language that goes into the report.
Yeah.
Based on that, they finalized the audit report and the management letter, and then forward it to the Minister of Finance, who is the certifying officer of the audit report. So Ibrahim disputing this 377 million is basically saying Siddiqui doesn't know what he is doing by certifying this audit report.
Right, right. And also call into question the integrity of highly competent and qualified auditors. These people are highly professional people who do a fantastic job. Sometimes their management could let them down.
Yeah.
And we call that out when it happens.
But
the staff doing the work, they are solid.
Yeah.
These are solid people, solid background, solid education, highly efficient, and people of integrity. And they do a job. The only place I agreed with him was when he said, this is supposed to give you an idea of how to go about things or what not to do. Yes. But for 9 years, they've been telling you that.
Yeah.
For 9 years, we've been doing the same things over again. Yeah. The same wrongdoing has continued. So
and you are getting the same result.
Right. So what is the audit report? What has it taught you? Nothing. It just said, okay, you just go ahead. You can have whatever you want. We'll do what we want. And in fact, he said that. He said, if people think that what they say is going to make us budge, that was the word he used, we're not budging.
Yeah.
For God's sake, you're supposed to budge. When you are shown where you did wrong, you're supposed to learn from that and improve and move forward. Not stick your head in the sand and refuse to see the reality.
It's actually sad to see.
The arrogance is astounding.
It's actually sad to see a state minister saying we are not going to budge because people are talking.
Yeah.
What is even more sad is for the minister to say these reports are fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are not fake reports.
And they are not fake reports. They are done by very professional, highly competent people. And to try to, as you would say, to try to deflect and personally attack, he kept coming back at Mahdi Jobate. Yes. Mahdi is a very conscientious Gambian. Yeah. And I wish we had more Mahdi Jobatis in this country,
and he does
calling them out.
He does his homework.
He does his homework, he does his research.
Yeah.
I wish we had more Mahdi Jobatis in the country calling out all this wrongdoing in this government.
Yeah.
We need to hear that. We need to hear Mahdi's voice. And he thinks that by saying that he can,
we will not budge.
Yeah. He thinks that he can malign Mahdi to the point that he won't speak. That's not going to happen.
No.
Mahdi Jobate, Larry Sise, Koma, whatever, we don't budge.
No. Just as he doesn't budge on
this wrongdoing,
covering up,
we
are not going to budge
on calling them out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Mahdi, Ibrahim is still attacking you, you should wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, and the minister attacking
Mustafa
also.
Exactly.
The minister attacking Mustafa
Suwandi Dabo,
should also
same thing.
Wear that as
Mustafa,
a badge of honor.
white on your shirt sleeve, as a badge of honor. Mustafa did a good job. And Mustafa called them out. And all he could think of, saying, let me help you, let me give you, let me educate. No! You are the one who should be educated. You are the one who should listen.
Yeah.
You are the one who is sitting next to the IMF representative here, who has probably read that report as well, who has seen all the wrongdoing, and who probably besmirked you during those meetings with you, behind closed doors. They were sitting hit hard.
It is sad.
And they come to the Gambia and stare us in the face and say that IMF officer sitting next to you will never take you seriously again.
No,
because
never.
he sees you as somebody disingenuous, who would sit in public and try to spin falsehoods. And she would be thinking, are they doing the same thing with us?
Yeah.
Are they giving us the same stories when they write?
Yeah.
She will be asking those questions. Her staff and her colleagues will be asking the same question. The way he is spinning these realities to the Gambian people, are they doing the same with us?
Yeah.
If I were on that team, I would be looking very closely at what you tell me next time, because you're probably doing the same thing that you did to the Gambian public. But this is what we have in this country. People who are so incompetent and so arrogant that they can sit there and tell us those sort of things.
Yeah.
And the part that shocked me even more was when he sat and looked at Mustafa Dabo and told him, oh, you said you wrote to me.
Yeah.
You wrote to me on my personal email account. How do you expect a state minister to respond to his personal mail? Why do you give your personal mail account?
The government hardly uses
government mail.
Email accounts anyway.
But even if it did, if you give your personal email account out there,
to somebody,
it is supposed to be used. And when somebody writes to you on that personal email account, you tell him, okay, I'm transferring it to my office. Next time, please write to A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And then you write to your office and say, handle this. You don't just ignore it because it came to your personal account. What kind of management is that? You take it, look at it, and if you can deal with it immediately, deal with it. If you cannot deal with it, send it to your staff and say, I got this message coming through. I had messages sent to me on my Yahoo and email, and my Gmail accounts when I went on mission about certain things. Because when I give people my business card, I have also my personal my personal email
address.
Sometimes they send to me on my personal email, and I transfer to my official email. What needs to go to my colleagues, go to my colleagues. What needs to go to my supervisors, go to my supervisors.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's supposed to be. I have sent my vice president so many times mail that I received on regional integration from different areas. I sent to him, I said, VP, maybe you need to take a look at this. I got this on my personal email. And he said, oh, okay. So we look at it. That's the way it's supposed to be. You don't say, because it came to my personal email, I'm going to deal with it. That's irresponsible. So, Mustafa, congratulations for what you did.
Yeah.
And keep holding their feet to the fire.
Yeah. I think both the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Works, the Governor of the Central Bank need to self-introspect.
Absolutely. And you know what kept coming up in his answers? Forensic.
Yeah.
Forensic.
Yeah. But it shows an individual who doesn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. And I was going to say to him, man, you are in for a lot of forensic auditing in future.
If he's forensically audited,
yeah,
he's not going to be defending this 377 million the way he's defending it on coffee time.
And that is just for one small
roads project
in the countryside.
Yeah.
When we forensically audit Batil Harding and the 50-kilometer OIC roads,
yeah,
you're going to have egg all over your face.
They play with words, Lam.
Yeah.
And they play with words because they know most Gambians are not looking or hooked up to the platforms that they are appearing in.
Yeah.
Those of us who are hooked up to those platforms, they are telling us we are going to act with impunity.
Yeah.
Because for him to sit there and say we are not going to budge, that basically means we will act with impunity.
Thank you.
And if we know acting with impunity is one of the repertoire of things that this government is adept at, then it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that the minister is telling us that.
Yeah.
You can talk all you want, you can criticize all you want, we're going to keep doing the things that we do, irrespective of the bad governance nature that it is, and irrespective of the leakages it is causing into the budget of the country, and the net effect of losing, in 3 years, losing 110 billion Gambian dollars to leakages.
Yeah.
And you tell us we are not going to budge?
Exactly.
They will budge.
When you have 130 billion debt already.
Debt already.
The ones we know about. And you see, is that impunity that crossed right across the board? 2 weeks ago, I think, we told Barrow, when you're going for your fundraising in Spain, you pay for your own flight, you pay for your own hotel. And now he said, oh, no, actually, I'm going to put it on my leave. So, you guys have to pay for it. You take your leave, and you go for a private fundraising for your party, and we have to pay for that.
Yeah.
We have to pay for your flight, for your hotel, for your entertainment, and probably the money you gave to those people to get whatever amount they say they raised.
Yeah.
And we will forensically audit all of that, Ibrahim Asila. Not just you, but your boss as well. And we will forensically audit the companies and facilities and agencies in this country that buy those golden and whatever tables at your fundraising events, NPP fundraising events, when they buy tables at $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 from government institutional money that's supposed to go to develop the country, and ministries and departments and agencies buy those tables just to be in the good books of the powers that be. That is corruption. That is corruption.
Of the highest order.
And the president should never have allowed that. The government should never have allowed that. Parliament should never have allowed that. They should have asked the president, why is he spending taxpayer money to go fundraising for NPP? Why are agencies, ministries, and departments buying tables at fundraising events for the party, NPP, using our tax dollars?
Yeah.
This is what's happening in the country.
All the government agencies do it, GRA, GPA.
All of them,
it's
because
like
they want to keep their jobs.
They compete which agency
is going to buy more tables and the most expensive tables.
Will put more money on the table.
Right. And that is our money.
Accountability is a huge issue.
It's just what you said. They don't care about accountability and impunity.
It's a huge issue.
That's why they want to spill blood to keep him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final item is on Monday, the UDP announced vacancies.
Yes.
To be filled. Opened up applications for the vacancies that have been created by the resignations to be filled. You sit on the national executive. I don't.
Right.
So lead us on that one by way of information, and then we can go to the local language part.
Right. Yes. We had a few resignations from positions in the National Executive Committee, principally the campaign and organizing secretaries and their deputies, which are 4 positions. The media and communications, also the head of the unit left. So those are 5 positions which became vacant. Some of the positions like first vice president, women's wing, and second vice president, etc. Those positions which became vacant through resignations will have to be filled in. Because as we keep saying, nobody's indispensable. You go, somebody will replace you. But we do it according to our rules. And our rules say that the Central Committee is the institution that is allowed to do those things when Congress is not sitting. And since Congress is not sitting right now, the Central Committee met and decided that those positions will be filled and that the different positions will be declared vacant.
Yeah.
And people can apply for them and get the job done. So those positions have been advertised. The National Executive Committee announced them. So the positions have been declared vacant by the National Executive Committee, and they are going to be filled. And applications have been invited from potential UDP members who want to occupy those positions. So they're going to put in the application up to the 16th of this month. We publish them on the 6th. It goes to the 16th.
Which is one week from now.
Yeah, right. So once applications are in, the Central Committee will meet, review them, call in the candidates. They will be given 5 to 10 minutes, I can't remember exactly, I think it's about 10 minutes, to make a pitch, to sell themselves why they are the best person for that job. And we encourage applications from all sections of the party, particularly from our women folk and the differently abled, to be able to take up those positions. So we hope that we'll have a lot of applications in those areas, and people will come in and defend their position, their applications, and then the Central Committee will make a selection.
Yeah.
And then people will fill those positions and we move forward. We don't do these things rushing to fill because we need to fill for the optics. We follow the rules and the laws and the bylaws of our party, and then we do what's required. So by the 16th, the applications will end, and on the 19th of this month, the Central Committee will meet and do the interviews and the election of the different incumbents. If there are cases where people come to a consensus on one candidate, there will be no elections. We declare that person the winner. When there is no consensus on a particular position, and the Council of Elders can't persuade people to reach a consensus, then we go for an election, and the positions will be filled. So
just as the flag bearer.
Exactly. All our things are rule-based. So on the 19th of this month, we will have all of those positions filled. So that's important. We just wanted to announce that to the public because we are that transparent party that has set itself very high standards. We hold ourselves to very high standards, and we want to be as transparent and as democratic as you can get. So we're going to have those elections, and the positions will be filled. And there are a lot of competent people out there in the party, so I'm sure we'll have a host of applications, and we'll choose the best to man those positions.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, there is nothing beats rule-based activities.
Yeah.
Because when you follow your rules of engagement, you shield yourself from unnecessary criticism, one.
Yeah.
And two, you can withstand the rigors of scrutiny.
Right.
And these are two important elements of how UDP does business, not UNDP.
Exactly. The similarities are there.
Yeah, it's a rule-based.
UNDP, just take up the N is UDP.
I wish UNDP will behave like UDP in accountability and all that, but that is fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because today Usain Dabo is not in the country.
Yeah, and these things are happening.
And they're happening normally.
So
whether he's in the country or not, the party continues to function normally. Because he has put in place a party with rules and regulations and rational functioning, which makes it easy for the party to function, irrespective of him being here or not.
But you won't hear our detractors say that.
No, they would say that.
This is not a party that functions around one
individual. No.
And a lot of things have happened while he was away.
Yes.
Even the flag bearership application happened while he was away.
He was in the
US.
US.
This is also happening while he's in Europe.
He's in Europe, raising funds and meeting very important partners.
It shows the calibrated resilience of the party. The party can function with or without him being here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people have a commitment to the core principles of the party.
Right.
And it's a rule-based institution that respects the rule of law.
Yeah.
So
it does that, and it does it so admirably. Whilst it's out there raising funds for the party for 2026 elections,
and these things are happening,
and meeting very important people, in Europe and the US. Our poor partners, when we get to power in 2026, the party is functioning here. And everything is going normally.
You will not hear them say that.
No. The detractors are not interested in that. All they want to see.
Detractors will always be detractors.
Yeah. So that's okay. That's all right. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
So what we will explain still to the people to understand, and we will be doing that by the time he comes back from his tour. Every position would have been filled. Yeah. So we can go. When he was elected flag bearer, he started this European tour as the new flag bearer of the country, and everybody in Europe, in the 6 countries the 5 years visited so far, the authorities met him. They wanted to discuss with him because they know this is potentially the next president of the Gambia. Yeah. Let's meet him. Let's discuss programs. We could have been all over the press with that, but no, we don't need that.
In fact, that's a very important piece of information because a flag bearer is potentially the next leader flag bearer of any political party.
Yeah.
But a main
but
opposition
especially
party,
the main opposition party.
it sends a different message.
Yeah.
And again, our detractors don't get that.
No.
That you need to do these things in order to keep yourself in the loop on what is happening internationally.
Yes. Yes.
So that your domestic initiatives mirror what is happening in the international arena.
Yes,
But
yeah.
again, the detractors are not going to
No, they're not
give
going
us
to do that
accolades
because
for all of that.
because that is not in their
It's
interest.
a
They
very
wouldn't. So here we will blow our own horns and
Yeah.
tell them what's happening.
Yeah.
And when he comes back on the 25th, by the way, I'm telling all our supporters, be at the airport on Saturday, 25th October. Mr. Dawo is coming back.
Yeah.
And we're going to give him the welcome he deserves.
Yeah. And it will be
So-
in the afternoon.
It will be in the afternoon from 2 p.m.
Yeah.
He gets in on 2 p.m. and we meet him and receive him the way it is supposed to be. That is a very humble, hardworking, honest, reliable, dependable head of state in the waiting. So we're going to receive him there on that day.
Good.
And he's going to go on like that. So today, as we speak, he's arriving in Spain, or he should just have landed in Spain now. He was in France up to yesterday.
Yeah.
Today he left Paris for Spain. So he should be landing or just landed in Barcelona now.
Yeah.
And he'll be in Barcelona until Monday. And Monday he flies to Birmingham,
Yeah.
which is the last leg of his visit.
And whatever we raise is not going to be fake.
Oh, no, no.
This is real-
It's gonna be
this
fake,
is real
And
money.
it's going to go into the campaign.
This is real
Because
money.
we know that Barrow and his acolytes are preparing a war chest for these coming elections. They are investing, and the investments have to yield returns. They are not working for the country, they are working for themselves.
Yeah.
So whoever gives them money, gives them the money to be able to stay in power. They think they can buy elections, they can buy the conscience of the Gambians. It won't happen. It won't happen. And
There is no free lunch.
there's no free
When
lunch.
they give you that money, you have to
you're
give
gonna
it
pay
back
for
somehow.
Yeah. But in our case, it's our militants who put their hands in the pockets, come out with the money, and contribute to make the party function and do
Going
things.
all the way up to the grassroots.
Yeah.
There are grassroots chapters of the party that contribute $5 is a money.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
that's the
you
beauty.
think that is small.
No, but when
But
you take hundreds
over
of thousands of participants, of members, that's appreciable.
Yeah.
And it shows the ownership
Yeah. They own the
of
party.
the party. They are like shareholders in this party. And they know that these people are fighting for us and the future of our country and that of our children. So we better do this together with them. That's where we differ.
And Lamin, honestly, that's what also explains the longer term sustainability of the party.
That's why we are resilient.
Yeah, the resiliency of the party is
Because
something else.
we
Sorry.
have been 30 years in the opposition, and we're going from strength to strength, even after 22 years for dictatorship. When nobody was coming out,
UDP was on the streets.
Usenu was on the front line, putting his life and his wealth and his health out there for the Gambians.
And our people are being killed and raped and tortured.
And maimed, and he was defending them in court,
Yeah.
and he himself is taking the brunt of that.
Yeah,
But that didn't make him flinch.
yeah.
So,
This is UDP for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want an angel,
Yeah,
I will vote for that guy any day.
this is UDP
Yeah.
for you.
That's right.
Okay, let's do a brief on
Yeah. Okay.
the local languages.
Yes.
Do the Wolof version. I'll try the
Mandinka.
Mandinka
Okay.
version. Although these economic terms, we'll see how.
Yeah, we'll try to manage because they're not easy to say in
translate
local
the
languages.
Local languages.
Yeah. waaye mbokk yi ñu ngi leen di sant di leen gërëm di leen nuyu yéen ñëpp di leen jox seen wàccuwaay yu mat sëkk la ñu bëggoon a waxtaan ak yéen tey li ñu doon wax ci kàllaama angale tey mooy ne amoon na fi benn kuréel bu jógee Amérique bu ñu ooyee International Monetary Fund maanaam ñoom ñoo dee saytu affaire xaalis yi nguur yi nekk ci àdduna si yëpp
Àddina si.
parce que koo xam ne da nga am jafe-jafe mën nga fa dem nga àbba xaalis ñëw liggéey koo xam ne xamul naka ngay doxalee sa réew ñu dimbali la ci waaye du ñoom rek nag African Development Bank ci yooyu la bokk.
World Bank
ci la bokk. European Investment Bank ak yu bëri ci lañ bokk. waaye IMF nag ñoom ñoo dee faral di séntu affaire yi koppari réew mi naka la koppar bi di liggéey naka lañ ko defaree naka la ñoo def ba mu bañ a yàqu ba nga xam ne dalasi bi continuer di daanu rek nga xam ne lu ñoo jënd fii yëpp nekk di yokku rek mooy inflation ñoom ñooy séntu yooyu ñooy dimbale nguur yi pour ñu mun a am loo xam ne dina leen dimbale pour ñu génn ci coono yooyu noonu nguur goo xam ne da nga dugal sa réew ci nguuta ñoom ñoo ñëw dimbale la ñu la nii ngay def pour nga mun a génn ci nguuta googu noonu te fa lañ nekk tey Gambie ci nguuta la nekk ñen ñoo ko fa dugal Adama Barrow ak nguuram ñii IMF dañ ñëw ne leen ne fi nekk dañ la jox benn dimbal boo xam ne ñu ko ooyee extended credit facility extended credit facility lan la mooy boo xam ne nguur boo xam ne dafa toog bàyyi réew mu yàqu wala mu yàq ko moom ci boppam ba nga xam ne seen xaalis bi jaratul dara seen koom-koom bi mënut a dem fenn léppaa ngi yàqu ci réew mi ñu yow day fi nga toll ni suñ la bàyyee fii njaaxu may am ne na kaay ñu dimbali la ñu jox la xaalis nga def li nga war a def pour nga mën a génn ci lii parce que boo ci desee coono gi ñun ñëpp lay dal parce que ñun IMF ñi mooy kuréel googu noonu wala World Bank wala African Development Bank European Investment Bank Islamic Development ñëpp dañu la lebal xaalis pour nga liggéey sa réew boo ko mënta fay ñu tam dañoo yaakaar ñun itam suñu xaalis bi te sa doomi réew ñoom ñoo koy fay ñoo ciy gën a sonn dañ la dimbali bi nga xam ne nga mun a jógaat taxaw parce que duñ la ko joxee daa fekk yaa ngi daanu de te loolu xew Gambie su lañu IMF ñoo nañ dimbali la ñu ngi dañ leen ko jox parce que da ngeen daanu extended credit facility loolu la
mbir mi doxut
waaw dañ lay jox xaalis ci diir bu gàtt bu em jaareel juróomi at lay nekk dañu lebal xaalis bi juróomi at yi li ñoo fay duñ ci teg dara wala liñ ciy teg na néew lool nga mun a jóg liggéeyal sa réew mi pour jëm kanam waaye bu ñu ko joxee gis nañu ñoo jox xaalis bi dul jeex ci noonu pour ñu liggéeyee ko waaye gars yi defuñ li ci war ñen yéen daal seen problème mu nga bëri léegi xaaral ñu yokkal leen ci lañ indi li ñu ooyee Resilience Sustainability Facility RSF ñu xaaral ñu yokkal leen li parce que li ñu leen joxoon pour lu diir bu gàtta la juróomi at pour ngeen mën a jóg taxaw waaye gis nañ yéen ba tey daal yéen a ngi sukka ba tey mënu leen a jóg xaaral ñu dimbali leen yokkal leen ci pour ngeen mun a jóg taxaw mun a liggéey ñu yokkal leen RSF mooy maanaam lebal la xaalis bu gën a takku te li nga koy fay diir bi dafay gën a gudda mooy xëy na fukki at ak juróom lebal la loolu pour nga mun a jóg fi nekk nañ laa dimbale pour nga jóg yaa ngi tëddoon fexe nañ yaa ngi sukka rek ba tey mënoo jóg xaaral ñu dimbale nga mën a taxaw boo defee li war njëriñ nga jóg taxaw waaye nag dañ lay jox ba ñu la ko de da koy fay te loolu lañ nekk nag gars yi dañ yàq suñu réew mi yàq suñu xaalis bi ñu ñëw di leen dimbali ci jox leen dimbal ci ni mu waree pour ñu mën a jóg taxaw dimbal woon lañ koo fay soo ñu ñoo gën a yokkal suñu problème ñoo gën a yokkal suñ liñ leb bu ñu defee li war xëy na fay bi nag xalaat tane tuuti nag xalaat son yomb waaye li óor ba óor mooy fi mu nekk ñu ngi amee bor boo xam ne téeméer ak fanweeri junne yi millions yi dollars. dalasi.
130
billion. téeméer ak fanweeri junne yi millions. nga compter million ba junne yi million mooy benn billion. nga compter waat loolu ba téeméer ak fanweer xel mënu ko jàpp sax. loolu lay am ci bor. te loolu bokkut li nga xam ne audit wane ne ko dañ ko luubal loolu teel na ba tollu téeméer ak fukki junne yi millions yi dalasi la gars yi luubal waaw moo tax ma ne téeméer ak fukki junne yi millions
ok
waaw xam nga soo ne billion yi léegi ñu ci jaawale billion ak million xam nga dañ jege ñeente moo tax ma koy faram-fàcce téeméer ak fukki junne yi millions yi dalasi la gars yi luubal ci li audit report ci ñetti at rek de.
bi boobu ñetti at.
2021 2022 2023 ñetti at yooyu rek luubal nañ téeméer ak fukki junne yi millions yi dalasi fekk ñu ngi am bor boo xam ne mu ngi toll téeméer ak fanweeri junne yi millions yi dalasi ma ne boo ko xalaatee sax da ngay xalaat ne lii lan la fa lañ toll nag moo tax nguur gi li ñoo bàkku ne jox nañu lebal nañu xaalis su bëri dañu ko def parce que yéen a ngi tëdd daanu ngeen a ngi daaneel réew mi moo tax ñu jox la pour ngeen mën a jóg balaa ngeen seen ngeen jóg ngeen daal ngeen a ngi toog rek feren laayu ñu leen sëñ bi jóg leen léegi ñu leen dimbali nag ñuy tii seen loxo xanaa ngeen tax ngeen jóg tuuti taxaw nag mu ne taxaw ñu xaaral joxaat leneen léegi arrêté mooy yet pour ngeen mën a sukkandiku ci it boobu du jóg soo fa lañ tool soo li gars yi di wax dara nekku ci dëgga dañoo gën a dugal ci nguuta rek te dafa gën a métti rek liñ war a def rek mooy liñ nar a def mooy 2026 ñu génne ci nguur fii nguur gi indi ñeneen.
dëkk bi mu ngi ci pax
bu méttee métti sax bu xóot a xóot keneen kan lañ war a indeeti mooy góor gi Ousseynou Dabo pour ñu mën a liggéey réew bi ni mu war a demee soo loolu nag des na ci doomi réew mi xanaa fi mu nekk kay ku nekk war naa bugg a boppam ba nga xam ne nga def li war ci réew mi pour ñu mën a jëm kanam génn ci problème yi ñu nekk nii parce que nguur gi bu ñu fàttali ne lañ fi nekk moom ñoo mooy pour seen bopp rek ñoom seen bopp rek lañ xalaatatuñ kenn te foo xam ne nañ leen fa jëli nañ leen fa toppi ñu ngi teg di ñu tegal ndigg sira fu nekk ñu dañ ci dugg rek fu nekk ñu ñooy lalal ndigg sira ñun ñoo taxaw nag bañ yooyu yëpp soo doomi Gambie ci ñun la des léegi ñu jël suñu réew mi ci ñii liggéey ko ni mu waree pour ñu mën cee am li ci war beneen fànn bi mooy audit boo ma doon wax léegi nii bi wax ne luubal nañ téeméer ak fukki junne yi millions yi dalasi bi loolu génnee nguur gi génn ne waaw lii du yoon liñ wax di dëgg liñ xalaat du xalaat ñi nekk audit office dañ jàng seen xam-xam bi màcc xam li ñoo def man ko ñu def liggéey bi ni mu waree génne leen ne lii ngeen yàq ci réew mi lii lu moo réer te du réer mooy liñ sàcc rek waaye dañ ko rafetal rek oddu kàddu yi rek moo tax ñu ne lii moo réer du réer sàcc la ci corruption waaye rek foog ñu wax ko duñ ñëpp duñ mën a nekk oddul suñ kàddu yi foog ñu wax ko ni mu war ni mu ko war a waxee ñëpp xam ko so loolu la fa nekk bi loolu génne gars yi gën a wax lu nekk waaye amul loolu foofu sax seen ministre Ibrahima Silla mi nga xam ne moo gën a nekk ci problème ministre yi moo gën a bëri problème moo gën a bëri luubal mu dem Coffee Time di jéem a suufeel ñiy liggéey audit office di yàqa seen orma di ko xotti di wax li ñu def du dëgg Ibrahima Silla moom xam na ne li gars yi di wax ci moom ak ministre yi mooy dëgg gars yi dañ ko ne benn yoon bu ndaw bi nga sampoon ci baribu gi
North Bank
waaw North Bank naa ngeen sanjaal ñetti téeméer ak juróom-ñaari fukk ak juróom-ñaari million réer na fa ma bamtuwaat ko ñetti téeméer ak juróom-ñaari fukk ak juróom-ñaari millions yi dalasi réer na ci benn yoon bu ñu samp mais fan la xaalis bi jaar naan waaw xëy na ban baloon doon bind ñoom dañu yàkkamti woon mënu ma li ma bind dégg seetuñ ko déglu ko waaye ñi ngóor si dimbali ñu ngay wax nañ lu nekk yónnee la këyit ne la lii moo réer sa ministre yi su fekkee ne wax ñu ko waaye mënuñ koo wax mu nekk di leen sonal soo loolu nekk di leen wax ne nguur gi xaalis bi ñoo sàcc xaalis bi ñoo luubal lépp ñun ñoo koo fay soo nañ fexe jëlee leen fi balaa ñoo gën a yàq réew mi xam ne boo xam ne duñ ko mën a jegarati loolu lañ leen bëggoon a yëgal nañ ci dellu si parce que lii li ñu yàq bëri na de nguuta gi ñu nekk metti na foog ñu gën continuer di ko wax nañ ci dellu si waat waxtu bi xala moo ñu xala jàmbu rek waaye nañ ci dellu si waat ngeen xam loolu rek ne xëy na bu ñëwatee beneen alxames bi ñëw ni ajjuma nañ ci gën a mën a waxtaan waaye leen di sant di leen gërëm bu baax a baax ci seen déglu gi te ngeen jégal ñu nga xam ne mënu cee wax lu bëri bi yoon parce que dañ ci wax ci anglais moo gën a bëri waaye beneen yoon incha allah nañ wax nañ gën a yaatal ci wolof ak soose jërëjëf.
Thank you. Jërëjëf Lamin Mané. Abarakallah min mane. Mbadi manding kol. Assalamu alaikum. Natal kachandi kote kele. Katu IMF ye timole kinanja. IMF lemu dunia la bank ba kilina membe Washington. Ika bankolu mako ila Irwandi doku bundala. Gambia nak ye Irwandi doku bunda fula le soto. Bunda folo e ka fole extended credit facility. Ibuka lanka membe o kodota buka siya bake. Bari ka dila nyine kama ko ila banko mantara tamala. Ila banko mantara tamala le ka okodo dila. Bari ni a dila fanan ike nyalo e kanne ibe banko tamandila nyame be kodo tamandila nyame. Ila mako da fulanjang ika fole ko resilience sustainability facility. Resilience meaning femfensi banko mako ino ka tankandi kuolu menube ke kan dunia la munafan kono. Ike mako wala ika kododi la ke mako puru si fan sansan wala. Ku kane soto me alonko ita manage nol. IMF inatale kunung ye ini journalist all diamt. Ini Minister of Finance lem sidiketa. Ye memfo Gambia mansa kundaya. Wala munyinti ko. Na Central Bank na nyim bank ba me alonka teleka nyim bankin din dolu mara banko kan. Iko Central Bank ye muru loi kae menke akarwoke. Munatin na Central Bank be murla loi kae menfo akawoleke anyanta woleke la. It's because Central Bank loi menfo na ka ke fanan ijenketa loi karola doman. Central Bank la doku nya. Munatin na ibe ofola Central Bank nga falien yalong nga report nunko ye $1 million kemele di company tan bari wonata na ke $1 million keme fulal manke $1 million kilintide so company tan $1 million fula ça fait a hapo kono average 20 million mo company $1 million mo. Okay, at the Central Bank kilum ito le kaito signe pour ka kodo fenke falim National Road Authority aning bank do membe Cairo ka fa Afrexim Bank million keme worola nin lul talul ha yo at the Central Bank kilum fanan ya jamela wato ya long jane commission ya itandiko ye bank account o men soto muannem wala muannilul bari auditol ya je ko Central Bank ye bank keme bank account keme tansai anin worowla ye wala soto iman sonna o bank account ol keme ning tansai ni worowlo iman sonna Kenya fala auditol so momalong membe o kono. The other one is iko Central Bank nyanta bankola kodo kamara nyame inyanta nyatilin na walla ikakarnyin kodi sifa di molla walla kanyin kodi sifa di mansa kunda iko fanan Central Bank la hajo nyanta kala muneti ka fengol dalu tala ke jindi ke manage Central Bank nyanta wokela inyanta wokela nyamen wala mu ninte tata banko to na kodo don to je kodo ni lankam amanya na si ala fonten na julo jono wala mu interest rate anim fanan Central Bank nyanta kodo men nyanta dunna banko kan luolum monetary supply namera in economic terms ka fo en M1 supply inyanta yo fanan control andu inyanta bankol fanan katama nyame yo fanan je ko akatama anyanta tamala anyamali walatin nan ko inyanta ako finally ko central bank nyante hakilo tula Gambia la dalaso ka boy nyame dalaso la boyo aka fengol dala fale anda ka tinna fanan ko doku soto balia ka finti central bank wala basically central banko man taratam ka nyanta tamala nyam biko ka kodo manage nyame abuka manage no wanya ni aje central bank be ofola ni auditor ko ni mansa kunda billion keme anin tang anin million keme worola imala keta nyame sanji saba 2021 2022 2023 billion keme billion tang anin million keme worola imalo keta nyame yo wo fanan kola julo membe bankola billion keme anin billion tang saba so bankote tano wonya wala na IMF ko man sakunda nyante la kuol jibelale ika kuo dol men ke yol bulaje ye nyatiling lo IMF fo pruka okay fulanjao kumo fulanjao Ibrahima silale tata coffee time nyin fenke tambila talata tambila mune asamba coffee time auditor ko sila kilin nebe North Bank Division wosilo imalong miliono keme sabanin ta worowlanin woro dunta dam Ibrahima silla ko womanke tonya atata kawale defend ajakalo warta because ning auditor le do ko ke comme atela ministry e audit nyame ika reporto di lale ko e control nganyine je alla dulatu isa jibe ni ajibe ngasi ngakacha fontol kamem fani te kamem fo o mukilinet auditor le o bekele fo ala ministry e safero ke ka fo me management letter ya di auditor la ko nyin sitanol kabri auditor le o management letter soto ko nyin sitanol ya key finance minister sidiketa finance minister le mu moti banko kan me alonko kaitol banko ka kodo men doku ni a audita kaito a teleka signe mo katam buka signe a telem loya wala ye nyin audit reportol ki sidiketa ye signe a ye certified sila minister do e audit reporto signe a ya certified ite kalo e ka fo manke tonya we mune kanin ida ite malo be menkela o sidiketa mala be menkela o atol dodo mala be menkela yes. So at Ibrahima silla be membe ke kan be membe fo kan tonya tije sila tije auditoli menke wala musiloti ka audit ka reporto kiai atenala mole reporto jibe ye management letter ki auditoli o soto ye audit reporto nyin ya revise ya dada kuke after ya dada kuke ya samba finance after tata finance minister ya sign ni minister ya sign wo munyineti ko mansakunda sonta auditol man minister do manyan lola ko nono tol man sonyin amanke tonya so minister Ibrahima Silla nyanta fang check la ka nyin audit report ko la because amantara sila kanje ngamera wo damman
yeah
okay
anen ron ka fo mole ko nyama sakunda kuru ya sulo du njele
sulu jamba
so mota falin nole ntiftano betemel ko nyama sakunda yalon tumudo tinyaro no warta safa nga ni pour que tinyaro e ban pour ay taku bara nyama sakunda tambita ka fo le reform kasi ndal ko mi kan nyinte silata nga tuje nga nyama sakunda ma ko pour ay falin nyama sakunda tambita wala ta ma ko nyolo ko pour ay falin ku kilin no tajeton wala ka bondi
pour ye jiko falin
2026 jiko ta falin no wi man ko to wala mo nyinti ata falin no la iko wulo ka signa falin yak nyaka sinya kede do nam nyima sakunda fana ala kuriya ama kuto la ta farin no so nyente bon la to ka ba sakunda samani je mi ya lonko asiban ko tamandi no nyama so to taw tembol ton so ka fumi be mol dan lamina do wala comme la reine for 2026 jare ngam fan kanu ngana dimbayal kanu banko kanu ani masakunda falin yudi pina bo kafnol sindine man ta Gambia masakunda fon sitano nyaar
ñing kodo men be tiña kan ay men itandi wala mu ñinti ko na jaral dulate correct na karan dulate correct na agriculture te correct ite fanam fango ñanta kodo men soto la banko kay tarola ita soto la
na
courant te correct la na jeo te correct la na silol te correct la na dinningul fanan ila ñaato e julolu menu ta na ñaato ben dingul be batandi la le ñaato
julo be wala ko le ba jolo digol ni ma wala ba jolo ta na jola
ntolu wote
ntolu ta so na fere ken nga wodam
okay mbaɗigol ala baraka nga programme do bambi ɓe laamin mane tentula mba jeyla laaminoɓe dulal to gamira be lamoy kannale mbal fanan konton na mbal tentula mbal jayla mba folali ko koleya men ɓe kering ñimmolle koleya lal kam alate ñimmolle koleya lal kam ɓar koleya le me alon ko al sabondino al fankan nal pareta andu jarla al sal bondino al fankan. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you watching us, listening to us, and giving us feedback. We come to the end of another program today. We look forward to next week's program, and thanks to my colleague Lamin Mane here. The third leg, I saw somebody describe us as UDP's three musketeers. So Lamino is somewhere there, the missing link in the musketeers' three legs.
There are many more musketeers out there.
So thank you very much, Lamin, and thank you to the viewers. Again, you can see the studio is improving. Every time you come here, you see some new things. And it's all because of the resilience of these young people who are running this TV channel. And the technical capabilities is, I didn't think we'll see the kind of technical know-how that we have seen with these young people. And I even dare to say the average age is around 25, 29. So thank you guys, thank you team. We hope to see you again next week. Thank you.